Sharp Game here, coming at you with another episode from ChooseYourRelationships.com, author of Love Can't Wait, the 21 unconventional laws to redefine and transform any relationship to win. And in this video, I got a question from somebody I got this like 2 weeks ago. And I'm going to do it live. So I'm going to read it live, and I'm going to answer the question live. And P.S., by the way, before I get started, follow me on Instagram, and my handle is Sharp Game. And check out my Patreon as well. So I'm going to get into this. I'm going to read what she said, and I want to reply to what I read. So she says, my birthday passed, and the guy I am dating called me to say happy birthday. I spent the day with friends and enjoyed myself because he was away with his son. No big deal. However, when he came back, I had hoped we would be doing something to celebrate. A dinner, maybe flowers or a small present. When he did none of those things, I calmly brought it up to him and told him about what would make me feel loved. I'm confused about his response because he said that me having expectations make him not want to do anything at all. I understand where he's coming from on that. That buying flowers would be not authentic to who he is. It was my intention to communicate how I feel loved and not build resentment. Can't get mad at him for not reading my mind. So where's the line between being a demanding woman who places expectations that make a man feel belittled and communicating needs so her partner can love her in ways she receives love? I would say when you start trying to make demands on somebody, if you have to convince somebody to do something, you've already lost. You've already lost. The odds is already stacked against you. Whenever you have to make demands, whether you're a man or a woman, whenever you have to make demands, whenever you have to try to convince someone to do something or try to, manipulate someone to do something or try to get somebody to do something that either they don't want to do or don't have the intentions of doing, you've already lost. Already. It's just a losing game. You're better off just moving on. Just find somebody else to talk to or date or whatever you want to do. Because obviously the guy that you're with, either he doesn't want to do whatever you think he's supposed to do, because you say you want to feel loved, which that's kind of a red flag when you say you want to be loved. Or maybe he's just not into you like that. That could be it too. Sometimes we want the other person, the partner, the girlfriend, the boyfriend, to do stuff. And sometimes they just don't see it that way. They just don't think the way that we think they're supposed to think. And a lot of times they're just not into you like that. That's all it is. And I've had the same experience. I've been on both sides of the coin. I've been in situations where the woman lied and said she never done this before, or she don't do that before, or she never done it in the past before. And she got with somebody else that I knew of, but I never told her I knew the guy, knew of him in some type of way. And as I got to know him better, This was like after the fact, after she moved on from the second guy. He told me that she done some of the same actions or some of the same habits that she told me she never done before. So she lied. So she basically lied. She just wasn't into me like that. And that's fine. I didn't like it at that time because I was in my early 20s and I just didn't understand why someone would lie like that. It's just crazy. People lie about anything. They lie. They say they don't want to hurt your feelings or whatever. That's a bunch of crap. Who cares? But see, a lot of times, this is what I've learned over years. You can finesse certain relationships. You can see, a lot of times it's not about how you look all the time. That's because it's not all about just how you look, how you dress. It's a lot of times it's about being a good listener. Sometimes you gotta know you gotta have the gift of gab. You gotta be able to talk that talk, right? Now, the average guy that looks at a woman from a distance will say, "Oh, she's put together. She's playing the part. She got a red dress on, nice heels, stilettos. She nice hair. I like her hair done or whatever." From a distance, you're looking at her like she's well put together, right? But once you start talking to a lot of these women out here, you realize that they don't really have anything to say. They don't have the charm and the charisma. They can't carry on a conversation about very much. It's like sometimes you might be sitting there waiting. If she's gonna say anything that's gonna, have me waiting for the next time to see her. And then most women they don't really have it like they don't have the charm and charisma. See, if you're a man or a woman, if you got that charm and charisma, you can get a lot of shit out of almost anybody. And see, a lot of guys will say, well, I got the house, I got the car, got the jewelry, I got the money, I got the job, and maybe he's a little flashy. A lot of times they're doing that because they think they have to do that to get a certain type of woman, but you're going to get a certain type of woman, but it ain't going to be the woman that you want, because you got to have a balance. You got to have balance. You got to have charm and the charisma, and you got to have the tools and all that good stuff. But the problem is a lot of guys, they don't have the charm and charisma. Most women don't have the charm and charisma. Most people are just, they know how to play the part. They know how to dress the way they think the other person want to see them out in public. But when you sit down and talk to most of these people, they're not fun to be around. They don't say anything that's stimulating. They don't really say anything that's gonna blow you away. It's just the same old conversations they have at work. That's really it, And a lot of these women from these other groups, like all over the world, or these women from these other cultures, I've had conversations with them about having charm and charisma and being able to have the gift of gab or whatever. They don't even understand. Most of these women don't even understand the concept at all, because they come from a kind of a structured environment within their culture where it's kind of like they don't have to think about doing anything very much where they came from. And when they come over here, it's kind of like they're kind of wide open. They're all over the goddamn place. So they kind of over here, they don't really know what to say in most situations. They kind of just winging it, So, but a lot of times, if you got that talk game down, that money game down, you can finesse these relationships. You can talk your way out of shit. You can talk your way in shit too. But if you're just depending on your looks, and a lot of people feel like they're entitled to certain quality of guy, a quality girl, or quality relationships because they're educated, they went to Ivy League school, they went, I don't know, maybe they come from a certain type of family background, or maybe they got a certain type of job. Nobody really cares about that shit. I mean, so a lot of times that's where a lot of the entitlement comes from, because a lot of people equate how they look, education, they equate all the superficial stuff to being successful. But it doesn't necessarily work like that. Doesn't work like that. Now, if you look at the television says, hey, if you got the money, the cars, job, house, you automatically get the girls. But it doesn't work like that in most cases. That doesn't usually work out. It doesn't work like that for most people. A lot of people have to do more than that. And this is why a lot of times, a lot of these women and guys and women will get with certain type of guy, get in relationship with certain type of guys and girls. And when it goes bad, they can't believe it. They be in denial. They be looking like, the women be saying shit like, you cheating on me with cheating on me. You cheating on all of this with her. Look at her. They be on that type of shit. They be on some other type of shit or whatever. They can't believe that a guy would cheat on them based on her background, her job, where she came from, where she went to school at, and everything is superficial because they think that shit turns guys on. And then on the other hand, on the other side, you got guys that he think just because he got all the material stuff, got the money, the jewelry, the cars, the house, he take vacations, he on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, he thinks that women are supposed to jump in by default. And when that doesn't happen, a lot of guys, even some women, they lose their mind. They go crazy. That's like suicidal. They want to get violent. They want to kill somebody, especially if they run into a girl that's talking to a guy that he wants to be with, but he don't think that guy should be with her. Oh man, some guys they want to get violent. They want to do something that they shouldn't be doing. And a lot of that comes from the sense of being entitled. They think they feel like they're entitled to a certain quality of life, a certain quality of people, because of how they grew up, the people that they're around, where they went to school, the job, the cars, and everything is superficial. But everybody doesn't see things the same as you. Everyone has their own perspective on things. Now the material stuff, the flash and the jewelry, the cars, that'll suck people in. But they're not going to stay there just because of that. They're not going to stay there just because of that. In order for most people to stay around you for a long period of time, it's going to be something else besides just the money, besides just the material, unless she's just a straight up gold digger. Unless she's just a straight up gold digger. But the average woman is not going to stay there just because of the way of living. Now there's certain women that will try to stick it out, and they'll try to live the double life. They'll play house with you. They'll even have kids with you. They'll go as far as to have kids with you. And then every once in a while, they're going to slide out with another guy for sexual needs. Yeah, that's what it is. You know, see, it's like it's just the relationships in America is kind of chaotic because what happens is a lot of women don't have sex appeal. They just look good. And good looks don't equate to sex appeal. A lot of women look good, but they don't have no sex appeal. That's why if it's kind of like if you probably more than likely you met a woman in your life and you probably went out with her a couple times, but it was just something missing. You know, it was just that some people call it the X factor, but you just wasn't attracted to her. She looked good, but it was like something just missing. Y'all just didn't click. Y'all didn't hit it off for whatever reason. And 9 times out of 10, it was because she had no sex appeal. You know, that's what it is. You know, and there's a lot of women out here that's like this. They know how to play the part, they know how to look the part, but it's kind of like when it comes to talking that talk and having charm and charisma and finessing the relationship, that's where most women drop the ball, you know. And there's a lot of guys out here, they know the game. And there's some women out here that know the game too, but very little. But most guys know if he gets suited and booted, he get the car, he'll meet you in the club or at the restaurant or at the event. And if he knows once he start talking that talk, and if he get up in your ear and start saying all that good shit, most guys know that he can get up in them panties. That's what it is. Most guys already know this, you know, but a lot of women don't understand it. A lot of women don't understand it, but at some point, it's going to happen to them. They're going to meet some guy that's going to talk that good stuff, and make them laugh, make them feel all good inside, make them feel better about themselves or like themselves much better around this guy. And before she knows it, she gonna be bent over. So, you know, a lot of women might not understand, but it's happened to them already. That's the thing. That's what it is, you know. But you know, if you turn on the television, you know, you kind of like and look at a lot of these movies, you will be misled in a lot of different ways, you know. So, you know, that's what I think about that question. And like I said, if you have to make demands or if you have to talk someone into doing anything, you've already lost, especially if you're a woman. As a matter of fact, I don't believe any woman in the United States of America should be broke. I don't believe any woman should be broke in this country because if you really look at where things is going now, it's really set up for women to win. I mean, if you look at all the laws, if you look at the social environment that we live in, I mean, it's really set up for women to win. Women can make mistakes, or they can straight up do crime. They'll get a slap on the wrist. You know, she might get probation. She's not going to jail. You know, a guy do the same thing, he's not going to get no slap on the wrist. So, you know, women can always use a third party, i.e., divorce court, to you know, liquidate assets from her ex-husband because she feels like things aren't going the way she would like it to go. So now she need emergency backup. Women can always use that to their advantage. Us guys, we can't do that. So the way I see the landscape today, I don't think any woman should be broke because it's really set up for women to win. Really, there's not a lot of room for mistakes for us guys out here. But women, on the other hand, they can make as many mistakes, damn near as many mistakes as they want, and still get help as a result. So, and this is why a lot of guys say marriage is a bad deal. And I get it, I understand, but like I always say, I'm not against marriage. But what I will say is the odds of your marriage being successful here is very slim to none. The odds are very high that it's probably not going to work out. And if it does work out long term, that's great. I mean, if you get 10, 15 years, 20 years out of a marriage, that's great. That's wonderful. But I think, I'm going to say the odds of y'all staying together forever, yeah, that's highly unlikely today. Most people I know that's been together in a marriage or just any relationship, a lot of these people have passed away that's been together for 30, 40, 50 years. Some of them are still living, but the majority of these people have passed away. But I don't know anyone my age. I know I'll take that back. I know very few people my age that got married in the early 20s that's still married today. Very few. There's some people that's been married 10, 15 years, but they didn't get married early. They got married in the 30s. But there's nothing guaranteed out here. The only thing that's guaranteed is that you're going to die one day. So, whatever you want to do, just give it your all and let the chips fall where it be, because sometimes you can do everything right and it still might not work out. That's just that's just a part of life. That's just how it goes sometimes. All you can do is all you can do until that's enough. And sometimes you just gotta charge it to the game and move on, man. So hey, that's all I got for this video. So if you like what you heard, go check out my book on Amazon.com. Love Can't Wait. And check out my Patreon. Patreon.com/Sharp Game. The link's going to be below this video. And check me out on Instagram, Sharp Game. And until next time, see you in the next video. Peace.